The new Superman film, Man of Steel, opens next Friday. Early buzz is good. Joining us now is screenwriter, actor, and director Kevin Smith, who famously was once tapped to write his own Superman script and who has a very scientific theory about this important question. How does Superman shave? We'll get to that in a moment. Hey, Kevin.
How are you?
I'm good. Now, you have not seen Man of Steel. Personally, I think they should have let you go attend an early screening or something.
The more I think about it, listening to your intro, I'm like, what am I doing here? I have nothing to do with this movie whatsoever. I worked on a Superman movie back in '96 that never got made, and the only reason I guess I'm involved now is because I like him an awful lot, and we're talking about minutia that has to do with fictional characters. Like, that's something I've built my whole career on, talking about the intricacies of superhero relationships. And now, like nearly 20 years later after I started my career, you can actually, in a mainstream like Gillette campaign, ask a really funny question like, how does he shave? And this is what blows my mind.
Don't tell us yet.
I won't ruin it. But this is a conversation you've had with your comic book friends and your geeky friends for years and years.
Right.
My mother called me the other day. She goes, I saw you on television. I said, doing what? She goes, talking about Superman's beard. And I said, oh, right on. I'm doing that lately. That's my thing. And she goes, how does he shave, Tiger? That's my mother. I never in a million years imagined. She's into it. Like, it's broached the mainstream.
You've seen the trailer. You've seen the trailers. Do you like what you've seen in the trailers?
I love what I've seen in the trailers, man. Once I saw the shot of Superman carrying Lois Lane away from danger at a furious pace, and it was her performance and Amy Adams' face of like, the worst thing imaginable is right there, and this strange visitor from another planet is racing me away from it. I saw that moment, man. I was like, they nailed it. That is comic books. That's when you read comic books, that's what you look for, is that moment of truth where, you know, somebody is there for you at the worst moment of your life, and that's communicated in every issue of a comic book. But somehow Zack Snyder found a really truncated 2-second shot. You look at the shot, it's like this. But he found a way to communicate that joy, that yearning that one has when they open a comic book, going like, I hope somebody's going to be there for me when I need them.
And you're a big comic book fan. You own a comic book store.
In size and in spirit. A huge comic book fan.
Once tapped to write a script for Superman.
Failed miserably.
Long, hilarious. We won't even go into it. Tale on YouTube from you about why the deal unraveled. I just want to know, if you could put Superman in any scenario, Kevin, what would it be?
Let me see. Any scenario whatsoever. Superman would have been there for a young fat boy who was asked to get off a plane because he was too fat to fit in a seat. That's the scenario. He would have come into the plane and been like, I think he'll fit fine. Everyone's like, Superman. And then he defends me. There's nothing wrong with this large boy. He had too many potato chips. And then off he goes. And then I get to look at the flight attendant the whole trip and be like, Superman. Superman.
That was Superman.
Saved me. Literally saved me. I'm still on this plane.
All right. I don't know where in the world you came up with that, but we'll just imagine.
I don't know where that came from.
Gillette's ad campaign. How does the Man of Steel shave? You were on there with a video with Bill Nye, the science guy. You were all sort of postulating what you think. You came up with the Kryptonia rocket theory. What is that?
Basically, I maintain in every iteration of the Superman mythos, he always comes to Earth in a rocket ship. I said, if the rocket ship comes to Krypton, it's going to be as strong as Kryptonian forces he is under Earth's yellow sun. So basically, you take pieces of the rocket ship, hammer it tight. He could hammer it pretty damn flat. He's Superman. And shave with that. You know, Bill Nye is talking about, like, you just need to grind his beard down with something equally strong. And I'm like, well, what is that, Bill? Like, you didn't tell us what that part was. Mayim Bialik, who's actually, like, very smart, PhD and whatnot, and brain doctor of sorts, head doctor, if you will. Her theory was BS. It was predicated on fantasy. I felt really smart when I heard her theory. I was like, I'm smarter than her.
But what about this one? Picture this. A giant spider comes along and eats the beard off Superman's face. What do you think?
That takes me right back to '96, I'll be honest with you. Sitting in a film executive's office telling me, no, a giant spider is going to play. Trust me, trust me. There's no giant spider in this movie, though. I've seen every trailer.
And the
ship, so far, nothing. Although the one Kryptonian ship, Zod's ship, looks like a giant flea, and that's close to a spider. But
last question. Yes. Superman still cool with younger people now? They've had so many superheroes out there.
Honestly, I think Man of Steel is going to do a good job in making them cool again. It's tough. Writers will tell you over and over again. Superman's a tough character because you're talking about somebody who's all powerful, and he's
Right.
got one weakness. As long as there's kryptonite involved, then you've got maybe a shot at a story, but otherwise you got a guy who is invulnerable. So I think how they're doing it, like if you look at the new campaign and everything they keep, like the Jor-El character keeps going, like he'll inspire people, he'll lead people, but not like people can be Superman, because you can't. You have to be from another planet and whatnot. So there used to be a bit of a divide. I think that's why Batman appeals to a lot of people, because like you put on a suit and you are Batman.
Right.
So with Superman, there's a bit more work to do, but it looks like with the trailers they've done it. Like it really looks like they found a way to present Superman in the 21st century without having people be like, this is corny.
Yeah.
Looks pretty badass.
All right, Kev, you heard it here. Kevin Smith, thanks so much for being with us.
you.
Movie opens next Friday.